What?
Right now, wow.
4
4.8.
million.
Yes.
Oh.
The players, please.
Yeah.
And in the morning, open the roof. And then you give very nice. And then in here, it's the television studio. They go live.
Everyone will get dealt 2 cards. These will be shuffled. We'll play, I assume, 8 players.
Yes.
Someone will start with this on the button. So if it's here, if you're to the left, you have to play pay blinds, which are like a forced bet. So I don't know what will stat that, but it might be like 100, 200. So you'll have to put in this, and that's just a way to get the game started, so that there's something out there to play for. So when you have your cards, the idea of the game is to make, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll just play, you'll have your cards just for you, but we'll just play face up just to demonstrate.
Very well shuffled.
Not the best shuffle, clearly. Okay, that's why we have the dealers. There's no shuffle in it. So you have to make the best hand with 5 cards. So there'll be a flop. So there'll be pre-flop betting. So now you might decide to raise. You might decide to call 500, and then you might decide.
She's first because it's the button, no?
Right, exactly. So whoever's to the left of the big blind is going to go first. So if someone was here, they would act.
first.
You can just fold if you'd like, or you can call. You basically have to match the bet that's in the middle, or you can raise to any amount. So let's say you start, you go 600. If everyone matches the amount that's in the middle, then you see 3 cards. And then there's again, you would start here to the left of the button. So like you might decide to bet your hand or check your hand, or whichever you want. Here again, here again. Then there's another card, same again, and then there's a final card. So if this was the board, your job is to use the 2 cards here and any combination of 5 to make a good hand. So with this board, bit of a weird one, but there's a pair of aces, and then you have king high. So this is the best hand. And that's really it. There's a round of betting before you see the flop. The 3 cards is the flop. Then there's another round of betting. Then there's a turn card. Then there's another round of betting. And then there's a river card.
Sorry, you have to play as much as the person before you play.
Yeah, you have to, if you want to see the next card, you have to match what's being bet. So let's say on the turn, you bet 3,000. Someone can either choose to call the 3,000, they can fold their hand, or they can raise again. In this game, I assume it's going to be fairly friendly. Dealers can help you, or if you get lost, someone will be there to sort of show you what's going on. Are you familiar with the rankings of hands at all? So basically you'll start with high card. So let's give a good example of that. Let's just go with this. Let's do this. So in this example, nobody has any pairs, right? So the board is 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Nobody can make any pairs. Nobody can make anything better than that. So it comes down to high card. So the king high is going to play. Then the next ranking of hands is making 1 pair. So obviously you win here with a pair of kings. After that you can make 2 pair. So if there's a jack and an 8 on the board here, Obviously now you've got the one pair, two pairs going to win. After that is three of a kind. So, sorry, you're never winning. It's just,
Yes,
it's just not
now.
Yeah, you're finished.
But tomorrow
Well,
I
okay,
win.
so here, it's three of a kind. After three of a kind, you're going to want to make a straight, which is 5 in a line. So here we go. Let's give you a winning hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a straight, Queen 9, 9, 10, Jack,
Now
10, King.
I'm winning.
After a straight is a flush, which is going to be hard because you'd all make a flush, but if you have 5 of the same suit, and then after that is a full house. So let's say this is another king. This is a full house because you've got 3 kings and 2 tens. And then after that, 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind, so 8, 8, and another 8, which is very, very rare. So it's pretty unlikely we see this, but that's obviously a very good hand, is 4 8s. And then after that, a straight flush, which is, you guys could have having trouble. So a straight flush is all the same suit, all in a line, but that is a super rare hand.
Perfect, so we should count on this.
If you have something like this, you're all in, yes. Obviously, it's kind of difficult to give you any sort of big strategy pointers. I would say make good hands and put chips in the middle. Maybe don't bluff so much, but it's entirely up to you. Have fun is the most important thing, always. And I think that's pretty much all you need to know. The blinds are going to increase.
When is good to scare him? Because
When to bluff?
I think I have a good hand now. No?
King, Queen of Hearts.
It's flush or
Right.
no? And now it's my turn to raise or
Yeah.
bet. Now is pre-flop.
Pre-flop.
Nobody showed any cards. No?
No.
Yes.
No one's, you're not going to see any cards. Right?
Yes.
So you're starting face down.
Yes.
If
now
you have
it's
a good hand,
it's
I would
good
raise.
to
Even
put
The
money
question is, what's the good hand?
Even before the flop.
before the
What's
flop.
a good hand?
That
before
I
the
want to
flop?
know.
Okay,
Yes.
so really you want high cards?
I don't want them to see another card. No, and I put money here.
If you
To
have a
raise.
good hand, something like King Queen or an ace maybe, like a good ace or maybe a pair, things like this, I would
Yes.
raise before the flop.
Before the flop.
Before the flop. And then if you miss the flop, it's okay to check or not bet. If you
Yes.
have a good hand on the flop, I would bet.
Bet.
I would just play the strength of your hand. So if you have a good hand, put chips in. If you make a good hand on the flop, put some chips in. But good hands, yeah, like if it's suited, or if it's high cards, or if it's an ace, or even something like 9, 10 suited, or sometimes even like 6, 7 suited, because you can make a straight, you can make a flush. Like these hands are okay as well.
Yeah.
But really the strongest hands, like the strongest hand you can get dealt before the flop is obviously 2 aces, and then 2 kings, 2 queens. If you have hands like this, you should do a lot of raising before the flop, normally.
Yeah.
I think when you start playing, you'll sort of get a good idea of what's going on. But try and have a hand that can connect well with the board.
Yes.
So-
that's the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea. So if you have like, let's say you have this hand, 9-3, it's very hard to make anything on the board because you can't make a straight between them. You can't make a flush as easily because you're offsuit. It's unlikely you're going to have a
maybe. But
maybe 4 hearts.
4.
But yeah,
9-9 and
or maybe
3-1.
9-9-9. But every hand maybe.
Yes.
But you can't play every hand because people will have stronger hands, right?
Yeah.
So try and play things that are like connected or big pairs or like high cards. Like pairs are okay. Like these can be okay if you get in for like small amount of chips and see the flop. It's okay. But like this, just fold. Okay.
Okay.
Pairs and pictures, right?
Pairs and pitches. Pairs and pitches.
Pairs and pictures is the hands you want to play.
When you're the other thing, I've messed these stacks about. When you're betting, if you want to raise, say it's 100, 200. If you want to raise, to 500, either use 500 and 100 chips. If you just throw out one chip, it counts as a call.
Why?
So even though it's a 500, if it's one chip, it's a call.
Ah.
So if you want to raise to 500 one chip, you say raise. We say 500, just to make it clear to the dealer. That's a big thing. So
All things.
yeah, so raise or 500, or if you just want, if it's 100, 200, and you just want to call, you can put out one chip. If it's one chip, it's a call, unless you say raise.
You want to
500.
say raise, the
Okay.
easiest way is to
You need
say
to say
raise
raise.
an amount.
If you want to say raise, always.
Or the most
speak.
important is to put all the chips in one move, yeah?
Yeah.
Like you want to raise like 800, you take 800.
I can't put
And
it
you-
like this. 500 and
no.
100
No.
and,
Like this is call.
and
Yeah.
this is
And
all.
Yes.
if you're going
This
to
is
raise all the chips
All
together.
the
And
kiss
you
one,
not- you
yes.
don't know like this.
Because what you can't do is if you want to make it 3,000 is go 1,000 and then see the reaction and then go 2,
Yes.
3, right? It has to be one of
100.
right
Yeah.
and then
No,
check. And then-
okay.
Exactly.
200, I think.
You don't get to do that.
Yes.
Any
I'm
questions?
sorry, Paul, just make
So obviously before the flop it might be that it goes 100, 200, 500, 2,000, 5,000, and then it has to go back around until everyone's either folded or you've matched the biggest bet. At any point you can just fold and you don't have to put any more chips in, but you'll lose whatever you've put into the pot. What you don't want to do is when you have the when the game's playing, the action is always going to start to the left of the button. Your first action is free, so if you just want to check, it's free to check and then see what everybody else does. Once there's a bet, then you either have to match it or fold. But let's say you still have cards here, you don't want to just fold because you can just check for nothing and then see what happens. I think, like I say, once you start playing a little bit, it'll
The
kind of
button is
become
moving,
apparent.
yeah? Every hand is
So then
moving
after
one by one.
after one hand, then the button's going to go here, and then blind bets, and then the next hand here.
I'm sorry, the blind bets, it's always, the first one is 1 and the second one is 200?
It will go up periodically, so that it's basically a mechanic so that you can't just fold every hand and stay in the game. So eventually, I don't know what clock it's going to be, but let's say
Gonna be
it's 10
one-
minutes.
Yeah, there's the clock. We'll start with 100 and 100.
So you give it
And you
here.
will receive 10,000, so maybe just take a look at the first few hands to
Yeah.
see how it is going and then just start playing.
And then after 10 minutes, it'll probably go to 100, 200, and then after another 10 minutes, it might go to 200, 500. So make sure that the game moves at a reasonable pace, and you know. But if you make good hands, put all your chips in. Is my best advice. Like I said, just have a good time. I'm sure we're
Thank
here
you.
for a good time.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
Another two for the big blind there. Okay.
Don't have.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I'll get the change now.
What did you get?
Oh, 200 call?
I make a video
Okay.
c'est combien?
200? This on. Call. Oh.
800.
Raised 800. Beats on.
6, no?
No, 8.
To call.
No, it's 8.
How much?
8. Yeah. Call. 800. It's a bit, yeah. Can I get some hundreds there, please?
Tu dois avoir une paire d'as.
You know, I love doing that.
Ok, vas-y.
You called? Perfect. Okay, can you take that back? And there's 200 change.
C'est la monnaie, c'est le recours.
Now, checker bets. And I mean, Liviu just scored twice. As
Yeah, well, that's
Check 10
something
minutes
that
ever.
helps.
Check. Yeah. Checker bet. You. Hold.
It's your birthday.
Non mais j'avais une bonne main les gars.
Close the bluff. Jesus! Such a block!
C'est pas grave, je me suis refaite parce que...
Okay, guys, best of luck with the new dealer. Thanks for that. I'll see you again shortly, I'm sure.
You're just 100 on smooth line.
Just one, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Am terminat jocul frumos la Poker Stars. Suntem pe stradă pentru că suntem chituroși. V-am mai spus, nu plătim internet. Că am jucat for fun, am fost chip leader și m-a scos un... ce credeți? Cel mai bun jucător al lor. De ce a fi stat cu mine la masă, nu știu. Doar ca să mă enervez eu acum.
Eu am rezistat mai mult decât el și am ieșit pentru el, că nu era frumos, adică să nu intre în depresie.
Vrăjeala, asta e vrăjeala.
Da, am dat Olimp pentru tine să ies.
Vrăjeala la...
Nu putea să, adică
Mihai Viteazu.
soția să fie mai bună decât...
Nu Mihai Viteazu, scuze, Ștefan cel Mare.
Bărbatul e bărbat.
Ia uite. Wow. Wow. Ia unde te duc, iubirea mea?
Îmi faci și mie o poză?
Nu, ai terminat cu pozele. Sărăm, Doamne, ai o grămadă.
fac poze.
Nu fac.
Ba da.
Nu. Fătălăi fac poze.
Oh!
Bărbații nu fac
Mi-ai
poze.
făcut 2000 de poze, asta ce spune despre tine atunci?
Că sunt fătălău.
Deci poți să
Asta
mai
spun.
faci două.
Nu mai pot.
Ba da.
Mă așteaptă și mașina. Hai să mergem. Cheile sunt la ăsta?
Da. Da. Ce
O să filmez și o să mă fac de râs, dar mă dă să fac. Da.
Gata.
Am venit și la Budabar cu mai...
Aici o să se întâmple lucruri la un moment dat.
Ce am impresia că sunt într-un salon de masaj. Nu că aș fi fost să știu cum e. Mai sunt în pleni. Dar așa pare. Și că se mănâncă bine, o să vedem ce vă spune. Localul arată bine. Da. Mersi. Am mâncat la Buda Bar, eu am mâncat zipas, doamna a mâncat rață. Am plătit 168 de euro, deci dacă vreți să veniți în Monte Carlo, e de venit. Eu m-am speriat un pic, dar e de bine. Adică o viață avem, nu? What the fuck? Și că e cel mai bun. Și apropo, asta am mâncat foarte bine. Băi, mi-a stat. Foarte bine. Thank you guys, bye! Thank you, bye bye.
Bye.
I will never call you Natasha.
Toate au probleme astea.
Nu-i place
Fără
numele de
hai, mă.
Natalia pentru că a fost travesată pentru una pe care o chema Natalia. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Deci recomandăm Budabar pentru cei care vin la Monte Carlo.
Și restaurantul din golf.
Și restaurantul de golf, dar nu știu cum se numește.
Cu B parcă ceva.
Bine, și aici la noi la hotel. Se numește restaurant?
Nobu?
Nobu. Și acolo se mănâncă bine. Și mai ieftin. Și acum suntem la
Ghibici.
Mickey Beach. Going to... Mergem în cameră ca să ne uităm la un film pe Netflix, că ne-a făcut televizorul.
Că o stai sau stresat toată zi.
Forget something?
Yes.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Ți-am zis dacă ai uitat ceva.
Tipic. Tipic mie. Ce drăguț.
M-am dat 50 de euro pe el. Hai, madame.
Am pus un connection de prezentare.
De ce te uiți?
Femei.
A dat asta la mes?
Vrea să ne știu.
Nobody. Nu vrea nimeni. Mamă, ce pantofi am și tu, iubire. Mamă, nebunia.
Am găsit oportunitatea, am avut oportunitatea să-i fac.
Da?
Da.
Și cum te-ai simțit astăzi?
Mamă, spectaculos.
This is life.
Yeah.
With star. Stai viața cu un star. Zicea că-s fraier, dar de fapt ea a crezut că-s gâsca, când de fapt eram vânător.
6 ani mi-au trebuit.
Oh! Faceți abstracție de covor. Hotelul e chiar mișto.
Let's make love tonight. Wake up, wake up. Baby, I got sick this morning. The wind I'm storming and it's shining.
S-a obosit doar, nu bătrân.
I think I'm capsizing. The waves are rising. Tell you look at me, baby girl, just do it that you will find. So my message. It's not lonely. It's a reason. There's a place
m-a susținut și a venit cu mine aici. A stat, nu a spus nimic. Când blonda aia cu ochi verzi s-a uitat. Cum? Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Am câștigat.
Don't wanna come bless me. You're far from plastic. The way you grab me, I heard you blurred line. I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it.
Gata, ne-am distrat la Poker Stars aici. Mulțumim de invitație. Tineretul a mai rămas, noi bătrânii mergem spre casă. Doamna nu mai poate cu picioarele, care pantofii sau ceva de genul. E bătrână și ea, că i s-au umflat picioarele. Cam asta e. Ce faci, iubire? Deci asta se întâmplă când trăiești la țară, știi? Trăiești la țară, te descalți. Hai, ia ușor pe Monaco. Așa țăranca mea, mâncai aici gura ei. Na. Uite cu cine am venit eu, Monaco, uite. Îți faci masaj la picioare sau?
Da, ce bine e.
E bine?
Dar nici așa nu pot să mai merg.
Să ne înțelegem. S-a descălțat doamna. Yeee! Suntem români, facem ce vrem noi.
Ca să nu te fac de râs.
Nu, nu plec, doar merg un pic mai repede.